Hello my friends, I am Dr. Bree and I am on a mission to make pelvic floor fitness a little bit more fun and playful. So we are going to be working the pelvic floor, super helpful for people who have prolapse concerns or bladder leakage issues. But we're going to make it fun. So come on down to the floor with me. We are going to begin with pelvic floor exercises that don't involve kegels at all, but you will be activating your pelvic floor throughout the whole process. So come onto your back, and we're going to begin with one of my very favorite moves that I like to call butterfly bridge. And by the way, you may need a block. This is highly recommended if you do have prolapse, but we won't need it quite yet. So put it to the side. So the first exercise, which I like to call butterfly bridge, your feet are directly under your knees, and they're about hip width distance apart. You're going to begin by dropping your knees apart, and then as you exhale, you bring the knees together, and you're also going to lift the hips. But let's just start with the knees. So again, inhale, flop the knees apart, and then exhale, bring the knees close together. Inhale, drop apart, and then exhale, bring them together. Now I want you to keep going and feel that as you bring those knees together and exhale, you feel a little activation in the inner thighs and the pelvic floor. So keep going with this. You inhale, drop apart, and then exhale, bring the knees close. Now again, when you bring the knees close, you're feeling the inner thighs kind of light up and the pelvic floor light up as well as you breathe out. So now let's put kind of phase 2 into this move, and then we're going to put it all together. So in phase 2, we're going to do a bridge. What you're going to do for this is make sure that your feet aren't too far forward. You want to bring them back so that they're pretty much under your knees. It's like you're reaching your fingertips toward your heels. Now in this position, your knees are right parallel to one another. You inhale, and then exhale, squeeze your bottom and lift your bum up off the floor. It doesn't have to be super high, just a little bit of a lift. Now release down. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale. Now exhale, lift that bottom up off the floor and come down. Last time, release, and then exhale, lift that bottom up off the floor and set it down. Now we're going to put both of those moves together. So inhale, knees drop apart. Exhale, lift the butt off the floor as your knees draw together. Inhale, knees drop apart. See how my feet are facing toward each other on the bottoms? Now you're going to exhale, come onto your flat feet, lift the bottom, knees come together. It's a lot going on. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift, come onto your flat feet, knees come together, and your butt lifts up. So I'm just going to keep going. You keep going too, and I'll kind of explain what's happening. So as you're doing this move, and you're inhaling, and you're exhaling, what's happening is you're releasing the pelvic floor right now, and then you're engaging the inner thighs and the pelvic floor. And if you have prolapse, this is a great position because it's pulling everything back into place. So now you're releasing, and then you're engaging. Feel that pelvic floor lift. Feel the pelvic organs come back into place and release. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and then exhale. 1 more. Inhale, release, and exhale, lift. Okay, go ahead and come on down. Bring one knee up and then hold on to the other knee and swirl your knees around. Let's go ahead and move into a similar sort of move, but this one's really neat because you are going to really be working your calves too. So you're going to bring your heels together and your toes apart. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to turn. So my heels are together and my toes are apart, and heels are lifted off the ground. So really bring your feet in close to your bottom for this. Feet close to your bottom. Heels in, touching, toes apart, and your knees will be apart as well. So in this position, it's a strong position. You are going to do a pelvic tilt. So you're just Exhaling and lifting your pelvic floor and lifting your butt up off the ground. So it's not a full bridge. It doesn't need to be so high. It's just a pelvic tilt. So you're just lifting the low back and butt off the floor, but your lower ribs can be close to the floor. So it's a tiny pelvic tilt and you're really lifting up onto your tiptoes. You might feel a little bit crampy in your calves. If that happens, put your feet down and shake out your legs. In this position, holding it, pulse up, pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, my cat, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Now really engage that pelvic floor and bring the knees together. They're not going to touch, but just pulse them in and in and in and 10, 9, 8, butt is still lifted, 5, 4, 3, heels are still off the ground, and release. Oh my gosh. Roll out the ankles. Whoo, feels good. And stir the pot one more time. And now let's go ahead and do an exercise that I'd like for you to have your block, especially if you have prolapse. But if you have bladder leakage too, then all of these moves can be really helpful because it's going to help you activate the pelvic floor even easier if you're up on a yoga block. So you're up on a block, bring one knee up and then the other. And now bring both legs up toward the ceiling. Your knees can be bent if you don't have a lot of flexibility. In this position, you are going to bring your legs out and in, and out and in. If you hear strange sounds, it's my cat's purr. So 10, 9, 8. Every time you bring the inner thighs together, you're activating the inner thigh muscles and the pelvic floor. 5 more. This time, cross one leg over the other and out. And then cross the other way and out. Cross, out, cross, and out. For fun, let's do 2 more on each side. Out, 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 and out. Now don't stop, we're not done. Both legs up, again, you can be slightly bent. And I want you to bring one knee in, slide your foot down your shin. This is kind of like a sexy time move. So you're going to slide that toe down your shin and the knee is coming inward. So it's not out like that. It's actually coming in and then slide it back up. And then the other leg, the leg slides down and comes back up. So slide down and up, slide down and up. You might have to work up to this if your flexibility is low and it's hard to keep that leg straight. You can have it bent a little bit, that's okay. But try to just work on this. Stretch out your hamstrings, work on your stretching. I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel that can help with that. And play with this because this is a really fun move that works the entire legs. It puts your pelvis in a great position because it's elevated. And so the pelvic organs are kind of coming back into place and you're working those inner thigh muscles and the core. Your abs are pulled in, down low. Those low abs are really pulled in. Everything is lifting and pulling in and up. And plus it just feels kind of fun and sexy to do this little move. So remember, you're not just bending the knee, you're bending it and also bringing it in across your body. And up. So in across your body, now this way toward the camera, and up. And now it's going this way with the knee, and up. One more. Breathe with it, and up. Okay, bend the knees in, release the ankles, feet down. Carefully lift up off the block, remove it, and flop your knees apart. So letting those knees just drop apart. We're just gonna end with one more bridge exercise, another one of my favorites. We're gonna do a hip circle bridge. So bring your feet on the floor flat, pretty much under your knees. Hands on the ground beside you. Inhale, and then exhale. Lift your pelvic floor, pull your belly button toward your spine, and come on up into a bridge. Again, bridge position is wonderful because it pulls the pelvic organs back down into place and it works your inner thighs and your pelvic floor. So holding it here nice and strong, you're going to circle your hips around like you're drawing a circle on the wall in front of you. So circle up, bend to the left and down and to the right and around. Never touching the ground with your butt if you can help it. So try to keep the bottom nice and high. And let's do 3 more around this way. 2 and 1. And go the other way. 8, 7. Try to keep some space between your chin and your neck so you're not like this. You're not really crunched here. You want to keep a little space. And keep breathing. 2 more. And last one. So come on carefully down, 1 vertebra at a time. And again, bring those knees in toward your chest. The great thing about all of these moves, especially the bridge moves, is that they're really working your glutes, your butt muscles too, which is really important when you're working your pelvic floor to make sure that your butt muscles are nice and strong too. It just keeps everything balanced and safe. So we worked the inner thighs, which overflow to activate the pelvic floor. We worked those low abs. We worked the back and the glutes, the outer hips. We worked it all. So hopefully you had a little bit of fun with that pelvic floor and core workout. That's wonderful, especially if you have bladder control issues or prolapse. It's just kind of a fun way to work the deep core without having to do a bunch of kegels. Kegels have their place, but these moves are just fun and most people can do them with a little bit of practice. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who might need it, and as always, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. I will see